Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Well, it seems that we have a little bit more hope for Donald Trump, at least when it pertains to the people that have woken up. It seems that even if he goes to like an Iowa football field or an Iowa area at all, it seems that he gets greet with cheers. Now, of course, I would like to see this happen in I guess you could say, in a more blue state, obviously, and see if that would be a really big impact. But of course, this also happened in Georgia, to where there was an immense amount of cheers. A lot of black people are showing up for him in Georgia, so that didn't look very good on the Democrats at all. But it seems that a lot of people are cheering for him, and we need to hear at least some good news from at least something. So here you go. So it is nice to have some cheering and happiness for Trump, and I think that the people are finally waking up. Of course, the CNN is, kind of struggling to really deal with it, drinking a lot of that Kool-Aid and trying to have some type of there is no hope for Donald Trump. However, I think there is. As far as what I can see, a lot of the Democrats, and especially some of Biden's blunders and all that, is rearing its little head as of today, as we've seen throughout the day. Then I don't see to where Trump can necessarily be in that big of a problem into this. His biggest problem is the indictments, and which he has to survive in order to be able to become full president here. And I think the big issue that we have is that the Democrats are going to try their hardest to prevent Trump from being president. And here we have it, is where CNN is, really trying to, I guess the word is cope, to work with this realization.
President Donald Trump is heading to Rapid City, South Dakota. This marks his first public rally since he was indicted in Fulton County, Georgia, on charges related to overturning the last election. Lest we forget, the last time Trump was in South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem offered him a very nice miniature replica of Mount Rushmore with Mr. Trump's face on it. This time, the governor may offer him a presidential endorsement. CNN's Kyung La is in Rapid City, South Dakota. Kyung, Governor Noem, very popular, but Trump arguably doesn't need her endorsement, right?
He doesn't necessarily. What this may be all about this evening, with CNN reporting that Governor Noem is expected to endorse him this evening here in Rapid City, South Dakota, a state that Republicans won by a very large margin, is more of a job interview. He hasn't picked a vice president yet, Jake, and that really is what we're expecting to see tonight, an undercurrent of a job application of sorts, Jake.
And Trump is known for spending his time at rallies sharing his various grievances. Are we expecting him to introduce any new policies this evening to help the American people?
In short, no. And there might be a reason why he doesn't feel he necessarily has to. We spent some time talking to people who are coming into this theater to ask them what they want to hear. What policies do you want? One woman did say she wants him to address inflation, but she doesn't expect any policy to come out of it this evening. What they want to hear from him is the fight. There are people who are wearing his mugshot from Fulton County. I want you to listen to what they told us.
This is a picture of Trump at his finest, being defiant against the establishment that is trying to take him down in a political season?
Depends whose law you're talking about. I mean, you've got the court system that is changing quite a bit because of what they state is, let's just say it's a fight between good and evil. And a lot of what's been happening is evil. He's bringing in the good.
I think he looks out for his people. I think he cares about us.
Oh, what we will be listening for, Jake, is whether or not the former president addresses any recent news, especially today's news out of Fulton County. But as far as policy, not so much.
All right, Kyung La in Rapid City, South Dakota. Thanks.
So yes, it seems that they are really trying to point some petty things like the vice president and having no policies or what have you for the actual rally. But again, I don't think necessarily that you need to start worrying about the so-called policies, because if anybody's been around Trump, if anybody knows what Trump is, he pretty much laid out his policies on what he was going to do and all that stuff beforehand. Well, of course, I would understand that he has a lot of other things, probably surviving the indictments that have been levied against him by this communist regime, but that's here and there. But again, they are trying desperately to maybe the people are asking for all these certain things or what have you that we really want to know about this or that, and given time, I'm pretty sure we'll know. But again, of course, I think that we're still in a positive light here. I think that we can still see that maybe Trump has a potential chance of winning. Now, I have a few people in my camp that I understand that thinks that, oh no, we don't need Donald Trump. We need somebody else. Somebody else is coming in. I think somebody wanted Nikki Haley, which why would we want that warmonger as president? And then, maybe there's any other candidates. Well, there isn't really many. There's only Vivek Ramaswamy, and then there's honestly, Ron DeSantis. Well, of course, the person that did not get seen or shown at the Republican debates was also Larry Elder, which I don't know why he was not available or allowed to go either. So that's more on that. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But we only have potential maybe 3 candidates. The best one being Ramaswamy, and then the next probably maybe being Larry Elder. And Ron DeSantis has really gone down in the books for me. So it's really hard to say on which candidate I would want more in this aspect. And honestly, I think Trump is the best. And then you have Ramaswamy, and then you have Larry Elder. And again, we're gotta hope that he can make it and make sure that everything goes fine. It's what I'm seeing from what the Democrats have done today and what their gun policies are going to be. We are already seeing massive backlash with the New Mexico governor really just when she tried to lay down that policy, she got slammed by not just the people, but by the also police officers and everybody else involved. So it really did not have a positive effect on her. It had a very negative effect, and I think as I said before, I think if Democrats are going to go that route, they have to be extremely cautious, but I don't think that they will be able to do it with Americans be able to push this way. Again, New Mexico is a Democratic state, and then when you have, people of your Democratic state protest you, and even the officers not going to enforce the law, you have a major issue to where you taking the gun rights is going to be incredibly challenging. And right now I see a lot of W's today more than L's, but we'll see what happens possibly tomorrow and what have you. All right, so all right guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.